Therapy came into my life along with my husband.
Shall I go? Sorry.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right, okay. I think Emma saw therapy as something I did.
It's a fantastic thing for people that need it. I didn't think I needed it. Then lo and behold,
Lo and behold.
first session, bang.
We could all do with some help at times.
I might smile all the time, but I feel on the edge of a cliff.
There are things in my life that I haven't told a soul.
So, a team of Britain's leading therapists are opening the doors to their work.
There are millions of people out there struggling. I hope we help people see that things can be better than they are today.
Have a seat on the couch.
You're not stuck with the brain that you've got.
These people have given us permission to share their story as they confront the problems in their lives.
I'll wake up with dread in my stomach.
I'll just feel unfixable.
Is your mind ever quiet?
No.
Emma and I will be checking in on their progress along the way.
I had quite a while of my life where I was dealing with panic.
That gives me hope then, see.
To see if therapy can help change their lives.
Life hits you, and that is utterly beyond our control. But how we respond can really make an enormous difference.
That's a part of my whole thing.
You had an aha moment, it sounded like there.
You just blow my mind.
We can all change.
I'm always working on something.
Oh no.
Is this your first session with Owen?
It is, yeah.
Life happens to everyone. So every human being on the planet will sometimes get anxious or get worried about stuff. Your job as a therapist is like being a detective of sorts, really. Nothing is ever as it seems. When someone comes to therapy, I normally get a top-line, very reasonable story. But the interesting thing for me is that very often the story and the emotions don't match. So I guess what we're doing is we're digging around a little bit just to find what's underneath.
Hiya,
how are you?
Hi, I'm all right. How are you? Good, thank you. Oh, what's your name? Nicole. Since 2017, I've lived in London.
I love your jumper.
Thank you, it's nice, right?
Yeah, it's really nice.
I moved from a town in Fife. I came with 2 suitcases on a 12-hour bus, and that was it. That's the whole plan.
If you take a seat, I'll just let Owen know that you're here, okay?
Thank you. I am a chiropractic assistant, not a chiropractor.
Hi there,
Hello.
Nicole. Come through.
I cannot crack people's backs. I cannot do any of that.
Grab a seat there and
Oh, very nice. It's my kind of colour scheme. I want to fix the things that are flawed about me or negative in my life. I don't want to waste any more time. Got my hugging pillow.
You got your hugging pillow. Good,
Yeah.
good start. How does it feel to be here?
Good. Like, I'm nervous,
Of course.
but like good nervous, not bad nervous.
Okay.
I don't know, there's like lots of things that I could unpick and I just
Yeah.
don't know where to begin, don't know.
We'll take our time. What would you say has brought you here? If I said to you, okay, what are the kind of 3-4 areas that you'd like to work on? What comes to mind?
I think the number one and biggest one is driving anxiety. It's just a circle of fear surrounding the car now. There's so many things that so quickly go through my head that you kind of get a little bit of whiplash from it. How far away is it? What is the route? If I somehow forget how to drive, can I still drive this machine?
Whilst you're driving?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you drive here today?
No. No. Absolutely
That's very
not.
definite. You're describing a brain that's clearly very wired for threat, danger, risk.
Yeah.
What was it like coming here today?
It started off excited, and then I was like, is the train going to be really busy? And what if I get lost? Like,
And what's the worry about that?
I don't want people like looking at me in a negative way.
So what people think is important.
Yeah.
What do you think of yourself?
I I completely hated myself 10 plus years ago, and really worrying what people think of me, that's been something I've struggled with for like a long time.
Do you get anxious around social situations?
Yeah, I hate it. I think sometimes like in a social situation, I'm not good enough to be there.
So what are you worried about?
I'm gonna say something wrong and they're not gonna like me.
And what would be so bad about that?
I need people to like me.
And if they don't, can that be okay sometimes?
In my mind, I'm like, why don't they like me? They hate me.
What's your approach towards your anxiety?
Well, I try and push it down.
And how does that work out for you then? What happens to all of the emotions that are going on?
They just keep building until it just gets to the point I'm on the floor.
You know, you said earlier, I don't think I'm good enough. How much do you believe that to be true?
Oh, wholeheartedly.
Where's the evidence that that's a truth? That's an absolute truth.
No, I have no evidence.
You've no evidence?
I have no evidence. Just belief.
That's the part I want you to underline. That doesn't mean that it's a fact.
Yeah. And you've kind of made me like stop and think there for a minute when you were like, well, where's your evidence? And I was like, well, I don't have any.
Well, maybe the next time you decide to get on that I'm not good enough train, it just might be worth stopping to explore if there's truth in that.
Yeah, it's not what I want for myself.
What do you want?
I want to actually care about myself. Not care about myself, but like...
I'm going to pause you there because you said something really important there. So you said, I want to care about myself a little bit more. Not care. So you immediately disqualify and minimise. What would be wrong with, I really want to care for myself as much as I care for other people?
And you straight up called it out, and I'm like, oh no, I did do that, without even realising.
Yeah, so there might be a bit of work to be done here and that.
I'm gonna do it.
And you are doing it.
Yeah.
You're here, you've started the work.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Like, I'm shocked that he got my number straight away. It's shaken me.
More than half of us have recently experienced anxiety. But talking about it can help.
I guess that I'm known for working in sport. I got catapulted into the limelight working with elite athletes. I'm not a specialist in sport, or I'm a specialist in the human mind.
James, how are you? All right?
The person comes into the room. It doesn't matter whether they're the hairdresser from Swansea or it's someone trying to get an Olympic medal. My job is to try and get inside their head. I need to see the world the way they see it. OK, thanks for coming in.
That's all right, thank you.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, pleased to meet you.
Do you want to give me like a potted history of your life?
Yep.
So I get a feel for who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm 39.
Right.
And I am a father of an 8-year-old boy.
OK.
At the moment I work in finance.
OK.
And I used to be a sportsman, and unfortunately I had a stroke, so I had to stop. I find myself here hoping to help me out because I'm feeling a little bit anxious about various things, to be honest.
OK.
So, and it's escalated since I had my stroke, I would say.
That was really brief. All right, I'm going to dig now.
No, you dig.
What was your sport?
So I started off playing football. I played football semi-professionally. And then I went into athletics. And then I went into bobsled.
And how did you do in that?
I was training to go to GB trials.
Right.
And then I had my stroke, so I had to stop completely.
And that came completely out of the blue?
Out of the blue, completely out of the blue. I was going to athletics track as normal just to do my runs. The next thing I remember was waking up in hospital. Overnight, with a flicker switch, I lost everything. I felt like a burden. I felt like I couldn't provide like I would like to. It made me feel a lesser man, I would say.
When you had the stroke,
yes,
have you come to terms with that and accepted that sometimes life throws things at us?
For the first 2 years, I didn't want to accept it.
Okay.
And I felt like it was unfair. Like, why did it happen to me? I developed epilepsy as a byproduct of my stroke.
Okay.
And at the time, it wasn't controlled with medication. That was 9 years ago now.
Okay.
Now I accept it. It's part of me.
And you said you're working in finance.
I do, yes.
And do you enjoy that?
Yes, I do.
There was a big hesitation there.
There was a little.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
So you can't get away with that.
No.
So tell me why there was a big hesitation.
Again, that goes back to my anxiety, worrying about not performing and messing things up. I know I probably won't, but in my mind, if I mess up, I will lose my job. So in terms of security and, you know, bringing in money, I want to be able to do it properly.
The level of anxiety you're describing, is it very high extreme or is it moderate?
It can be very high, not all the time. And when it is, I do not go into work because of the levels.
And what do you do then?
I stay at home, which obviously can make things worse.
Is it realistic that an employee doesn't make a mistake?
No.
No.
No, because everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah. So what you're saying, I'm doing the best I can at work, but there's a chance that, like everyone, I'll make a mistake.
Yeah.
Does that mean the end of the world?
No.
No. What does it mean?
A black mark against my name, I think. I do and always have strived to be the best at something.
Right.
I don't know if that's from my childhood as well, though, so maybe it's something to dig up.
Yeah, we're digging. So perfectionism is the root of a lot of this. If you have a belief that it's the end of the world if I make a mistake, then you're paralysed about going to work. But I think what it is, James, it's important that you start reflecting on this to change your belief systems in your head. One way of starting to rewrite the script is to start making it a habit where you block your thinking.
Okay.
You can break your routine down into stages, and then each stage has got a time where all you do is focus on that stage and refuse to give way.
Okay.
Number 1, which means sit up. Okay. Number 2, put your feet on the floor. Number 3, stand up. Number 4, start walking. It's ridiculous, but it works.
Okay.
It works.
Yeah.
Because you're like a little robot. You're just automatic pilot.
Okay.
I want you to try this so that next time we meet, you can feedback.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get caught up with catastrophic thinking and loss of perspective.
Yeah, and you. Thank you.
One way to deal with this is to train our minds to do things without analysing or thinking. So, for example, if I want to go outside and weed the garden and I stop and I think, then I'm likely to think, it's a bit cold today and I'll have a bad back tomorrow and it'll take forever, so I don't go. Whereas if I say, right, I'm not going to think at all, right, start digging, then I'm likely to get the job done.
Hi there.
Hi, how'd it go?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
That's a behavioural approach. But once you change the behaviour, you need to look at the underlying problem.
See you soon.
Thank you, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I live in London and I live with my 17-year-old daughter. She is definitely one of my greatest supporters, and it's hard to try and protect her from my issues.
Hi, Mom. Hello. Hi, I'm Fatumata. Come through.
People do perceive me as being confident because I'm all fine, all smiles and all happy. But really inside, I'm in turmoil.
Okay, so nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I'm Fatumata. Tell me how life has been for the past, let's say, couple of weeks, couple of months.
Oh, gosh. I mean, how long have you got?
Let's go.
I always have that horrible feeling in my stomach. I always feel quite vulnerable. And I don't know, I've always felt that.
Yeah.
Isolating and not wanting to do things, being scared of everything. I've not been able to be in the house on my own for years. My ex-husband, he used to go away for work quite a lot and I couldn't stay in the house by myself.
When did you break up?
In the lockdown.
How are you doing since then? Like, was it a tough divorce or?
Obviously, at first, I was devastated.
Yeah.
When it happened, it was a shock to us both, because I think, you know, being locked down, some of the anxieties and insecurities seemed to blow out of proportion and get even worse. I'm embarrassed to talk about it because it sounds like, oh, why are you scared to be in the house by yourself? I haven't actually been on my own since my daughter, so I haven't had to test it out.
Okay, and your daughter is how old?
17, but she's nearly 18. She's going to be in uni soon. She wants to stay with me, but I said to her, look, you don't have to stay with me. You don't have to worry about me.
Yeah.
But I know she does.
I mean, look, I'm really glad you're able to tell me, you know, even though it feels embarrassing. You're very anxious and we're trying to help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
If I ask you, when did it start?
Well, I think it's been years. When I was at school, for the whole school time, I was bullied. Lunch times, most people would go into the lunch hall, eat their dinner with their friends, but I didn't. I went and stood with the lollipop lady. I just didn't understand, why were they picking on me? Just because I was different.
What do you mean? What are you getting at?
I mean, somebody said to me once, maybe it's because you were adopted. You know, I was always really grateful and I felt special and I felt really wanted. But when people at school found out that was a thing to, you know, bully me about, oh, you weren't wanted. I don't know, that made me very anxious.
Sounds like that's really painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot there. The brain's primary purpose is to keep us safe. But sometimes we have a faulty system because we maybe experienced something that was particularly scary or dangerous. So you can imagine somebody who was bullied as a child will probably grow up to bring that into situations that are no longer so dangerous or so scary. And my job as a therapist is to help people learn to filter that out. Everything you've said makes a lot of sense. Being bullied is one of those key things that can have like lasting impacts for the rest of your life. You do things that help you feel safe. The problem with that is safe doesn't equal fulfilled. I feel stuck. I'm safe, but I'm stuck.
Right. That's true.
We are going to learn how you can have a better relationship with yourself.
See you next week.
See you next week.
I'm on my way to meet James. He started therapy to help with anxiety, which sometimes stops him going to work in the morning. I'm keen to find out how he's been getting on with Steve.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Emma.
James,
Nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you.
You
How
all
you
right?
doing?
I'm very well, yourself?
Good. This is gorgeous, isn't it?
It is really nice. This is my walk to work.
I'd love that as my commute to work. So why did you think now was a good time for therapy?
I'm worrying about going to work. I feel like I need to do everything right. In my head, if I do mess up, it'll be almost the end of the world. Then that prevents me from going in. It feels almost overwhelming.
It's funny, isn't it, how our brains work and, I suppose, trick us in a way, right? Because it's that fear of failure. I mean, I've absolutely said no to things because of fear I'm not good enough. And to try and shut that down is so much harder than it sounds. So what has he sent you away with anything useful that you're trying to implement?
There is a technique called the robots. It's basically getting up in the morning and doing things step by step, putting your feet on the floor, make yourself breakfast and coffee, and literally focus on that one thing each time.
So you're present in that moment.
Exactly, yeah.
Rather than thinking about the future and catastrophizing.
Yeah, exactly that.
Sounds easy. Can't imagine it is.
No.
How's it going?
The anxiety's still there, but it isn't as high. This week I'm getting to work. I feel good when I am there. I think it just needs to become a routine with me, and then it'll be easy every day.
Yeah. And here you are.
Exactly.
In the park.
In the park.
How amazing. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go.
I really related to James. I definitely understand the kind of fear of failure, the catastrophizing, the over-worrying. He seems like he's really open to it, and that is half the battle, isn't it, really?
After sharing her anxieties with Owen, Nicole wants to learn how to overcome them.
Owen is ready for you in room 2. Do you remember where you're going?
I think so. If I get lost,
I'll
straight
come
back.
Right. See you in a bit.
Two.
Yeah.
2.
Welcome back. How's your week been?
Good. Busy.
All work stuff or mix?
Like work stuff, but then we wanted to go, there's one of these big superstores that you buy things in bulk. And my housemate said, oh, but you're going to drive, right? And I was like, yeah. And we went, and as soon as it got to an area where I didn't know, that's when all the questions start.
So tell me what happened then. Did you get stuck and have to be airlifted out of the car?
I did not. It was worse on the way back. That was where the crying came in, and I totally couldn't regulate it at all.
How do you feel about the fact that this may not be about the car and the roads and driving?
I would say
how.
I'd be like, how?
Because I don't think this is a real issue. If I'm being brutally honest with you, I don't think the driving in the car is a real issue here. I think it's a symptom. I think it's just a symptom of what's playing out. But I suspect this is deeper than this here, and it's much more fundamental. Sometimes when you're talking, I'm very, very aware of this kind of almost residual sadness in the background. And I don't know if you're aware of that sometimes. I don't know, does it get pushed down or does it get held back?
Maybe, I don't know. I hate crying. I don't like crying in front of people. I really...
How's that going to play out in therapy?
Oh God, I don't know. I think I'm telling myself off. If I cry, I'm like, why are you crying? You're just being silly. If I have to cry, I will try and escape and leave so I can do it on my own.
Are you aware of part of you that's maybe trying to hold back and not feel stuff that may make you upset or cry?
Probably a little bit. And I will push that crying emotion down.
Does it help you understand why you get anxious sometimes?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense that I'm annoyed at myself for being upset, and then it builds that way.
Yeah. And I think that's part of why you maybe get stuck in the anxiety. And actually, when you give yourself permission to feel and be a bit more vulnerable, then you get your freedom back.
Yeah.
As human beings, we like the nice emotions. We like feeling happy. We like joy. We like being in love. But then when the other emotions come up, like fear, dread, sadness, whatever they might be, a lot of energy can go into either avoiding those emotions or pushing them down. And anxiety can be a symptom of that. You've got to go in and get to these emotions and know that they're safe. And that's when people start to feel empowered, because they realise that they're not going to get overwhelmed by the emotions.
Before Muna has her second session with Fatimata, I'm on my way to meet her daughter, Farah. These issues have such a big impact on the whole family. I know when I was dealing with addiction, in many ways it was Emma and the kids that suffered the most. I want to find out how Farah has been coping with her mum's struggles.
Hello, it's Matt.
Can I get you a drink?
I'd love a glass of water if that's all right.
In your opinion, what do you think your mum struggles with?
Her confidence.
Right.
I feel like sometimes she isn't always up for doing things that everyone else would want to do.
Right.
And I think that holds her back a bit in life.
Yeah. It must be quite hard on you if you're dealing with everything that's going on with your mum as well.
Yeah,
it must be quite challenging for you.
When I was younger, I didn't really know a lot was going on.
Yeah.
Being an only child as well, it's I didn't really have anyone else to ask or, understand. So it was just me.
Right.
So growing up, I kind of understood her a lot more.
So I hear that you might be leaving.
I don't really want to leave her. She relies on me in the sense that I'm her best friend and she's my best friend, and we're like together like peas in a pod.
Yeah. I mean, what were your hopes from her going to therapy? What were you hoping for her to achieve?
I was just hoping for her to achieve her full potential. I feel like she has a lot to offer and she has a lot to bring to this world. She needs to go out more and socialise and, be herself with other people so that she's not just stuck with me all the time, doing what she loves.
So last week we went straight into your story, and I was thinking really hard about where to start today. When we think about, your difficulties, is there a time that you can remember when you didn't have that struggle?
Yeah. When I was 8, 9, 10, the bullying got a lot worse from 12 to 15. I remember one time I came into the classroom and my desk had been put right on its own in the corner, and all the other desks, they'd made them go together. I know it sounds like nothing.
No, it sounds horrible. It sounds like it's been something that's really impacted you. It's my job to help you with that difficulty, and I'm gonna do that today a little bit. So we're gonna do a little exercise.
Okay.
Close your eyes for me, please.
Okay.
I want you to describe your school for me and what you see. Describe it for me.
Well, straight away I can see my desk on its own, and all the other desks are in the side and the back, like clubbed together.
What are you feeling when you see this?
I'm just like, I want the ground to swallow me up.
So what do you do next?
I just literally go to my desk and just sit on the desk. And then everyone's laughing in the back.
And how are you feeling at this point?
Humiliated, as usual.
Angry?
Yeah, angry.
I want you to now insert yourself into this image as adult Muna as well. So you're gonna go in and help your younger self. And this is your imagination, so you can do whatever you want.
I walk in and all the desks are moved, and I basically say to them, why are you doing this? How would you like this done to you? And then I'd say, how do you think you're making this girl feel? You need to stop this now. You need to stop it before it goes too far.
So what do you do next?
I say to her, what do you want to do now? Let's go and do anything.
And what does she say?
She says, let's go roller skating.
We're kind of so impacted by those early life experiences. And that's why therapists, we're so obsessed with going back to the past. It's about going back to those sticky moments and processing them in a more healthy way. I love the image of taking that girl out of the classroom, walking her out, letting her know you don't deserve this. You didn't have yourself back then, but you do have yourself now.
Yeah.
That little girl still lives inside you. You can be that person for her now.
Steve is ready for you in room 1.
Thank you very much, thank you.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Come on in.
Hello, Steve. How are things, all right?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Grab a seat. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Right, I'm going to be intrigued to hear how it's got on. How did you get on? Did you get to work every day?
I used your steps, like you said, and tried to block out everything.
Did it work?
It did actually. So I was just concentrating on what I was doing at the time. On my way to work, I'd think about things that I would be doing with my son at the weekends. And then before I knew it, I was at work and just doing my day. So yeah, it was good.
Brilliant. In the first interview that we had, there was a moment where you gave me a bit of a wry smile saying, I guess we're going to go back to my childhood.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's where we're going to find the basis of the problem. Who were you being brought up by?
By mum and dad.
And how did you find mum and dad?
Mum was very supportive, verbally and physically. My dad, not so much verbally, but he was there when I needed him.
What did you want from him that you feel looking back?
I would like to know that he was proud of me from what I have achieved. He's never said that. When I started doing sport, football, I wasn't great and I had to find my feet playing, etc.
Okay.
And some of the comments he was making towards me weren't very positive.
Such as?
Stop running like a girl.
Okay.
I mean, that's the one that sticks with me most.
Is there a reason you think he did that? What was his purpose?
To do better in the game. Performance.
Right.
Yeah.
What you've got is you've got a parent who's well-meaning, and what you're saying to me is that didn't actually help me. It actually destroyed my confidence.
It did destroy my confidence.
Yeah. You've got in your brain this idea that it is possible to get there and please my dad, but I need to not make errors. I need to not get it wrong. I need to be absolutely spot on. And when I get perfection, he'll definitely approve of me. So therefore, I mustn't be seen to be failing, because that's what I'm presenting all the time, and it hurts. It hurts me to be told you're failing.
Yes. It's still there. It's still there.
You've carried that through and haven't challenged it into adult life, and it's still raising its head. And then, kapow, in comes the stroke.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is devastating at any age, and a young man, that it's doubly. So you have an enormous bang to your confidence, to your self-esteem. So now we've got, this sounds so negative.
No.
We've got low self-esteem, can't please dad, terrified of making mistakes. Now, what I was going to build on, my empire has collapsed. I'm now even left with worse than ever. I've had a stroke, and now I'm left with epilepsy.
Yeah.
How would you think that would leave somebody?
Pretty much in pieces, broken.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a miracle that you're actually relatively intact. So how do we resolve it? And we can. That's the good news. So these are good bits now. We won't end with, well, off you go. How do you want to define yourself? How do you want to define whether you're successful? Is it by being perfect in things and not making mistakes? Or is it about looking at your values, the person you are, the way you conduct yourself, your behaviours?
Yeah, latter, definitely.
Yeah. People who know what their values are, and when they look in the mirror, see someone looking back who holds these values, feel at peace with themselves.
Okay, yeah.
What are your strengths?
I'm hardworking.
Yeah.
I'm honest.
Yeah.
I would say I'm engaging and friendly. I care about people. And I probably would put people before myself a lot of the time.
That's a really attractive personality trait, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you think, you know, your moral stance is we should care for each other. That's what you're saying. And I demonstrate that.
Yeah. It is difficult for me. Trying to reinforce that belief in myself.
Well, let's not force the belief because it's a truth.
Yeah.
I want you to go back over the qualities of yourself so we can start getting some self-esteem.
Yes.
Let's look at all the strong traits you've got and what you're offering, which is a lot. They're truths. They're staring you in the face.
Sounds good.
Are you happy?
I absolutely am, yes.
You're on the right track.
I would hope the future brings, you know, more positivity and I can look at myself in the mirror and feel my value and my worth. Ever so slightly every day, things are getting a bit better. I'm not superhuman and I don't need to, you know, put myself on a pedestal. I can just do my best and try my hardest.
I'm in Watford today and I'm off to meet Nicole, who's been having therapy with Owen. She's working on trying not to mask her emotions. I'm keen to see if she's made any progress. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Matt. How are you? You all right?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hi.
Do we-
So we hug? Oh, let's hug. Nice. There we go.
I'm a
Love it.
hugger.
I'm a hugger too. That's good to hear.
Good to know.
Yeah. So how long have you lived near here?
So since 2017, it's lovely. Got a house, housemate, dog, car.
So from the tick list, that's tick, tick, tick.
True, but I decided that I wanted to work through my own things that were making me anxious, because I feel like recently my anxiety has kind of snowballed a little bit.
Right. My experience with therapy was I went there for one thing, thinking, I just need to look at this. And it kind of opened up this whole thing. And I was like, oh, there's quite a lot that I have to address here.
Yeah, exactly the same. I thought I was going for this driving anxiety. I thought it was just going to get like worked out. Where did it come from? All sorted. And then there was this Pandora's box of stuff that some of it I didn't even realise was an issue.
Yeah.
I'm taking little golden nuggets, as I've kind of called them, and then I'm slowly like applying it into my life.
So what kind of golden nuggets have you taken on into your life so far?
I am really deeply emotional, and I don't like to like cry in front of people, but I do feel it and I just box it all up. And the idea of taking that mask off and being vulnerable is scary. It's scary. And kind of where I am now, it is still trying to be like, take it off and just see what's underneath. I'm on the road now. I'm driving on the road.
You drove here today, right?
Yes.
Yeah, how was that?
Before, I would just do everything I could not to do that drive, but now I'm like, no, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna try. So
Nice.
that's what I did.
So you're gonna drive home?
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. As soon as I hit that main road, I
It's
know where I am.
fine.
Exactly.
I'm really, really pleased to see you doing so well.
Yeah.
I really love chatting to Nicole. She's had a few sessions, and what I loved is her desire to put them into action. The fact she drove here alone was incredible, and she's now driving home. She can put herself in situations that would scare her, you know, with the hope of it benefiting her, which is enormous.
Can I get you a water or anything?
Yeah, can I have a bit of water, please? Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Grab a seat. Nice to see you.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. And you?
Good.
Obviously, we're going to pick up on some of the work. What I've noticed in therapy is that when difficult emotions come up, you almost scramble very quickly to get away.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring you towards your vulnerability.
Yeah, because I would see vulnerability as like a negative thing, but through what we've done so far, I get that it's not.
What are you most frightened of, do you think? I want you to come out of your head when I ask you that question, and I want you to, as much as you can, just allow yourself. And just notice now, I can see you're tense.
Yeah.
And I can see this is making you nervous because, you know, what I don't want you to do here is you don't need to perform here. You don't need to pretend here. You don't need to joke here. You don't need to run away here. Because the power is going to be in going to those emotions and going to that vulnerability.
Just makes me feel uncomfortable because I feel like you're looking at me and you're actually seeing me, and I'm like, oh.
I'm kind of almost watching part of you cringe almost and thinking, oh God, this is uncomfortable because I don't want you to see me.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you what I'm thinking? Would it be useful for me to tell you what I am thinking and what I do see? Would that be useful?
Maybe.
I think as you are now, this is beautiful. It's more real. You know, I see you as a human being. I see the fact that sometimes you're struggling. I watch how hard you're trying to push all this down. I see how much energy is going in to keeping up these performances and these kind of masks that you carry.
When I was growing up, I felt like my self-worth was nothing. And because I kept telling myself that that was the truth, it kind of like becomes the truth.
And you become so used to being able to declare that I'm nothing, I'm nobody, I'm anxious. What do you like about yourself? What's happening?
I'm having a panic attack.
Why does that feel so
I don't
different?
know.
Okay. There's something about going near these positive qualities. All right, so we're going to sit with this. So we're not going to run. We're not going to run from that sense of panic. All right. But isn't it fascinating that you get panicked about going towards your good qualities?
Yeah. Because I find that so hard to do.
Tell me what you know to be true.
That I am kind. And that, like, I'm thoughtful of other people.
Say these with conviction. These are truths. These are not made up.
Mhm. That I'm determined.
That you are.
That I'm enthusiastic. That I'm not a bad person.
What are you then?
I'm a good person.
Oh. Newsflash.
I'm a good person.
There's a lot within you. There's fire in you. Whatever happens, I think you've got a great future ahead of you. Does the future excite you?
Mhm.
Does it scare you?
Yeah.
That was much more definite. That was much more certain.
I'm excited, but it is terrifying.
What are you most scared of?
Just feeling.
I'm just scared of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's your work.
Mm-hmm.
You've done brilliant. I couldn't have summed it up more perfectly myself, but the fact that you were able to find that, I'm just scared of feeling. I think for most people right across the board in therapy, what you find is they have an attachment to their story, and that attachment might be a belief, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, I'm worthless, I'm not lovable. When you watch people get to these crossroads, when they wake up, essentially, and they realise what they're doing.
Wow.
I mean, that's a gold dust moment for me.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like a hug? Would that help?
Yeah.
Take
Thank
good
you.
care, yeah?
Okay, so we've previously talked about your daughter leaving home and, you know, your worries about what that will mean for you. How are you feeling about that now?
From before, where I couldn't be on my own in the house, I've moved on a little bit from that. I'm going to miss her and everything, but I've encouraged her to go to university. Don't worry about me. Live your life. I am going to be okay. I'm getting better every day.
So that's really huge, actually, like that change in perspective and the belief in yourself. It is the type of thing, you know, like you can go out for a meal on your own. You can do things that you like and that you enjoy, like roller skating. I think you've done really great. You know, you can be really proud of yourself. Keep pushing yourself to live the life that you want.
I mean, I feel slightly overdressed for the skating today. It feels scary. I'm scared to stand up.
Yeah, me too. Okay, we're still standing.
They feel a bit wobbly.
We're doing all right so far,
Yeah,
so
but
good.
it's a bit crampy
Watch out, watch
here.
out. So do you think you could ever come here on your own with a pair of skates on? Go for a skate?
No, normally I say 100% no, 100%
Right.
no. But you know what? I might.
What do you think's changed?
I don't know, so many things have changed, so I'm going to say never to anything at the moment for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you going to it?
Oh my God!
Right, this is nice.
It's lovely.
You look like you're having fun.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 11 years old again. I absolutely
Really?
love it. It was exhilarating.
Did you feel embarrassed at all?
I didn't feel embarrassed one bit.
No? Not even when I fell over?
No, I love that.
I mean, I feel like you feel ready. Like, it feels like, you seem to be having a great time. So what do you think Fatoumata would have thought of you today?
I think she's going to be proud of me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think she's going to give me a gold star.
Yes.
How was Muna?
Muna was great. She was having such a good time, and I saw this light in her. Do you know what?
The biggest thing for me is people realizing that they're not stuck with the brain that they've got, and also that you're not alone in those feelings. We can feel so much like we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to open up because people might think we're weird or like we're not supposed to feel this way, when actually so many people go through this stuff.
And also imagine kind of walking into that room, not knowing exactly why you're there, but knowing that something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And you can unravel so many different things. We can all change.
Yeah.
We can all evolve and help ourselves.
Absolutely, we're a work in progress. I'm always working on something. Don't you know it?
I know. Always.
Oh, hello, mate. Hello.
Whether you're considering having therapy yourself or training to be a therapist, the Open University's online guide outlines the first steps. To find out more and watch our exclusive interviews, scan the QR code on the screen or go to bbc.co.uk/Change Your Mind, Change Your Life and follow the link to the Open University.
Your eyes are wires, sparking in a midnight storm. Your smile's a signal, keeps my icy heart warm. When you walk, the static makes the ground ignite. I'm lost and I'm yours, under neon city lights. Electric heartbeat racing through my veins. Sparks fly high in the pouring rain. We're dancing on voltage I can't contain. Just say the word and I'll never be the same. We're tangled like power lines across the sky. Dangerous and beautiful, and I don't know why. Every touch a shock leaves me wanting more. Falling like a current rushing to your shore. Electric heartbeat racing through my veins. Sparks fly high in the pouring rain. We're dancing on voltage I can't contain. Just say the word and I'll never be the same. We are the lightning, lighting up the night. Wired together, moving in the pulse of light. Even in the dark, I can feel your glow. This fire inside me